No fancy opening, I just wanted to say that I love you and I really appreciate you checking out this video. Hey girl. Hello my beautiful Aries, how are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca and I'm going to be doing your weekly general reading this week. Now I also do your weekly love reading, Aries, which I'll leave a link to over here if you would like to check that out. And it's a reading that covers just the energies of, it's like a weekly checkup between like you and your person in mind. I narrow it down to soulmate, right? But yeah, it's there for you to check out at some point. But when it comes to any of my readings, rely on your intuition because put it in perspective, Aries, I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't, Aries, because I promise you I'm not going to be offended by it. Now, if you find some cards that resonate with you, be sure to let me know in the comments below because that's how I keep up with y'all. I love hearing y'all's aha moments that you have with the cards. And also, finally, if you find some cards that resonate with you and you enjoy this reading and you feel like it gave you a sense of direction, I would love for you to give me a like and subscribe, Aries, because it does help out my channel so much, and I always am super appreciative when you guys take the time to do that for me. So let's finally just jump into your reading now, Aries. I have your cards and already your clarifier is pulled, and just looking at it, it's a really good energy. So the overall energy that came out for you is the Lover's card. So this is just usually like the, obviously it's talking about an individual, so maybe this is a really good week in terms of like social connections this week, in terms of making intimate connections with people. It doesn't have to be like in the literal like lover sense, right? It could just be like you are able to just connect really nicely with people this week. At least that's how I perceive it. And also the Lover's card is the representation of like making a big decision this week. So some of you Aries, you might be making a big pivotal moment, like pivotal life-changing decision this week. I do feel like that is just kind of like the impression I'm getting. But let's get into your rows now. We have in the first row the Two of Swords. So there is some type of guarded energy. There is some type of path being presented to you. Maybe there's some type of choice that you need to be making. I do feel like there is a choice needing to be had. It's almost as if, yeah, this is definitely like big on choices this week, Aries, for you. I feel like some of you guys are making the choice of moving away from something or somebody, right? I do feel this. Like it's almost like a choice between two different people, right? Because you have Page of Water or Page of Cups. Two different people, two different opportunities are presented towards you, and you're not sure which decision to make because it's so big, right? With this Lover's card. So, or two different, yeah, it's interesting how it is like being presented as two different people as well. But we'll just continue on with like two different opportunities. And so it's interesting because you have the Two of Pentacles as well. So it's like this theme of like twos. Write that down from numerology. I'm just gonna say for you, Aries, it's just like you're just presented like this is quite literally like an energy of like fork in the road, not knowing what quite to do. Well, I'm assuming you may not be sure what to do. Maybe you kind of do know what you need to do, but there's still some like hesitation because it's like there is it's a big decision, right? Like, as I said, I do feel like this is like a really big week for you. And like this week will set the tone for kind of like the rest of this year, right? If not like much more long-term than that. It's interesting. I like this energy though. Like, it's not like a bath. Like, I really don't get I feel like it's stressful or anxiety inducing just in the sense of the magnitude and appreciating the magnitude of this, Aries, but I don't see this as necessarily I don't see this as necessarily a thing where you'll lose everything by making with whatever choice, right? And which I feel like it's kind of like some of y'all's fears. Your fear of like everything crashing down around you, Aries, because of a decision. Three of Air does come in here, where it's talking about great sadness, taking time to heal, and the need to forgive yourself or other people. Three of Air is that card of Three of Swords, right? So you're afraid of pain in this type of way, based on like you don't want to cause pain from some type of decision, perhaps. It's interesting. So let's get into your second row here. Let's see maybe if we can get a little bit more detail on this. We have the Two of Wands here. So this is again adding emphasis on the choice that you need to make this week, or how you carry yourself this week, is like really going to carry yourself through the rest of this, I say year to narrow it down, but like, you know, this Two of Wands, this person's like assessing what they want to do with their life and how they want to like take over the world, essentially, and like take on the world. Six of Pentacles comes in here, where it's like you're wanting to make smart investments. You don't want to make the wrong move, which naturally, like, who wants to make the wrong move, right? But it's just like, yeah, you're just thinking in this place of being like, okay, what are like good investments for me to do? What are good investments for me to sink my money and time, energy, emotions, whatever it is for you. You just want to make the right move that's good for you and your future in the long term. And it's just this constant anxiety that's haunting you in this entire reading, Aries, where it's just like you're just so paralyzed almost by this like anxiety induced fear of like the unknown, of some type of pain that might occur from this, right? And it's like, I don't know if this is just based off of some type of insecurity going on with yourself, Aries, and like maybe this just constant like feeling of like you make the wrong move and everything crashes down. But it's like there is some type of hurdle that you need to come, that seems like from yourself, that's addressing like this anxiety, this constant looming that things are going to crash down around you, right? With this Nine of Swords, you need to kind of address this before you go to your star, before you can really reach something. Maybe for some of you guys, it feels as if something's unattainable in your life, and like, I don't know, like I keep hearing like self-fulfilling prophecy, but the last time I said that I triggered somebody. But I really do get that in this sense of where it's like you're just worried about doing things right and not impeding other people along the way, or bringing pain along the way to other people, even just to yourself. You're just wanting to take the road with the least amount of bumps in the road. But unfortunately, life isn't like that, right? We have the Page of Fire to close off this second row for you, Aries, which says the news of an exciting new endeavor, right? Page of Fire is just like, I do definitely feel like it's almost like a choice between two different ways that you want to be known for, right? It's almost like two very, I don't want to say very different, but it's like two different paths to take of what you would be known for. So, you know, you could go the path of being like a neurosurgeon, or you could go the path of being a professional clown, right? I feel like it's that very polar opposite, and it's just like once you commit to one, like you can't really go the other way and like recover, right? And so I feel like maybe that's what's spooking some of you guys, is this point of no return, that sense of point of no return. And so I guess that's where I kind of bring up of just needing to build up that confidence and not doubt yourself so much. Feel like, give yourself more credit in terms of feeling like you would know what decision to make for your life, right? Don't feel as if you would like sabotage your life, right? You know, give yourself more credit. Give yourself the credit of having a good understanding of this world, right? So let's get into your last row now, Aries. We have the Nine of Swords coming in here. So again, this is that anxiety, and literally your entire reading, the entire time, Aries, each row, all three rows, talk about this anxiety based off of the overall energy, this lover. Whether this is a person, or whether it's talking about a big decision needing to be made, there's just this constant anxiety over it. And it's kind of like a bummer almost, because it feels almost crippling for you, Aries, that it's just like, this is like ends up, I feel like for some of you, Aries, you constantly go up to this point where it's just like you're so close to accomplishing something, and then some type of this roadblock happens, and it's almost like you're sabotaging yourself because of this anxiety. And it's not saying that you are not wanting this, right? But it's almost like, because something hasn't been addressed, or like this hurdle hasn't been addressed, you ignore it until like it's in the moment. And then when it's in the moment and you're like facing that dragon, then it's just like breathing in your face. You get paralyzed by fear, and then you sink back down and you start back from square zero again. But you don't change anything up, right? You start from zero again, and you pick yourself back up, which is beautiful, but then you climb back up and you don't change anything. So it's like, we got to figure out what's going on there. I feel like you kind of have to address whatever is causing this underlying anxiety throughout this entire reading. We need to address that at some point, Aries. Now, finally, to close this off, what I was kind of saying, I wish I kind of addressed these cards as I was going on my whole spiel, but we have the Sun card and the Hierophant here. So this is quite literally what I was saying. The Hierophant is the representation of like just learning, like also talks about higher commitment as well. It talks about like that big decision and learning from those big decisions. You know, when you get all the way up at the top here, you got to figure out, like, learn from like what knocked you down originally when you started back from square zero again. You don't want this constant repeat of this Nine of Swords knocking you back down once you get up to that point, right? The way to get to your Sun card, the happiest deck, the best card in the deck, the happiest card in the deck, where it's shining on you, is by addressing this Nine of Swords that's constantly looming over you, that's constantly paralyzing you with this almost like fear. Almost this fear of failure, this fear of like whatever, however it pertains to you in your life, Aries. It feels almost like it's almost pointless to do anything else or to work on anything else until you address that. Four of Wands does come in as your final card here, where yeah, I do feel like it's just like this constant, like every time you're so close to accomplishing your goal, something just knocks you back down. That same thing. We have the half the deck like was falling. We have the Four of Water as well to seal off this final row, and this is talking about opening the eyes to the possibility and missing an opportunity as well. So keep your eyes opened this week, Aries. Pay attention to what it is that you like. Pay attention to what's going on in here. Pay attention to the language that you have with yourself, the narratives that you feed yourself this week, because it could be the very reason as to why you might miss an opportunity because of the language that you have going on in here, right? The narratives that you tell yourself in here. So hopefully this reading was of help, resonance in some type of way, Aries. If it was, be sure to give me a like and subscribe. But yeah, I love you so much. Until next time.